I want another love spell story because I'm on a roll today. Somebody just submitted this one to me and this one is good. I can't believe you guys are this unhinged. Let's get into the story time. This one is T. We're gonna call this guy Andre. Andre was the one who submitted this story to me, and Andre's Jamaican. So Andre was in a relationship with this girl and they had a very tumultuous relationship. That means for whatever reason the relationship was always toxic. It seemed like they were always getting together and breaking up, getting together and breaking up. Until one day Andre was like, I really cannot take this no more. I really want out of this relationship. I want nothing to do with this. He said that a couple months went by and one day he just felt the urge to just get back together with the girl. So he did. He said that he would later find out that this girl was into some dark shit. Unbeknownst to him, this girl had other plans. She was tired of the back and forth. So after they got back together, Andre said that they always had like a super close best friend relationship where they could tell each other anything. So one day as a joke, she winds up saying something along the lines of, you know, for a second there, I was scared. I didn't think my stuff was working. I didn't think it worked. I didn't think I was gonna get you back. So then Andre asked her, like, what do you mean by that? And she said, as a joke, what if I did Obia on you and that's why you're here? As a joke, though. They both laughed about it and moved on. He also mentioned that upon them getting back together, she was really, really pushy in terms of sex. He said that he was never the type of dude to run a red light, okay? But one day, during that time of the month for his girl, she really wanted to do it. And she convinced him, and they did it. Keep in mind that this girl had already met Andre's parents, and Andre mentioned that his mother never liked his girlfriend. But you know, Jamaican parents are hard to please. One day, the mom came up to him and said, son, I had a dream. Like, I really don't like that girl, you know? I had a dream that your grandmother came to me and told me that she was working Obia on you. Do what you want with that information, but I don't think you should stay with her. Andre is a spiritual dude. Andre's a spiritual dude, but he's like, Obia? I don't know. So he decides to go home and he sat his girlfriend down and started by saying, I know what you've been doing to me, just to see if she would say anything. He said that my mother came up to me and said that she had a dream and went on to tell her what the mother's dream was. And he said, well, does that sound familiar? And homegirl would say, okay, so now here's the tea. She said during one of their back and forth, she said that, well, she read somewhere that blood is a very powerful ingredient to binding. And mirrors are also very powerful magic tools. So she thought, why don't I just combine both? She said that one day she missed him so much that she wrote his name in blood in the mirror and she stood in front of it and summoned him. She was also saying affirmation like, you're obsessed with me, you want me, you love me, you can't leave me alone. She said she didn't think it would work because she had only did it once and it took him a while to get to her, to get back together with her. And she also brought up that time that they did it while she was on her. He said he was utterly disgusted that she would even do something like that. He said he left. He said he did a cleanse on one of the beaches. He wore all white and then walked into the water, dunked his head to try to cleanse himself and get rid of her energy or her spirit around. Well, he successfully stayed away from her. But she, on the other hand, cannot leave that man alone. He says that this girl is literally obsessed with him, like showing up to his house, obsessed with him, get cussed out by his family and still comes back because she wants the man that bad. She told him that if he doesn't get back together with her, that she will unalive herself. And she attempted. Her family found her, took her to the hospital. And when she came back home from the hospital, guess who was the first person she went to go see? Andre. And Andre says that it's gotten to the point where she done fought his mama. It's gotten to the point where she done fought his mama, his sister, his cousin. She done got jumped. And that girl don't care. She want that man. He says that she doesn't present as a physical threat to him, but he's definitely afraid for the ladies around him because she has also showed up to his dates, sat on top of his car, and refused to get off the car because he was with another woman. And yeah, now he's thinking about moving because he cannot get rid of her. And the craziest thing is he didn't do nothing. She was trying to get him to be obsessed with her, but some way, somehow, I never heard this before, but a Uno reverse happened and she winded up being the obsessed one. Golly, that was a good one. Thank you, Andre. I really do wish you the best.
Story time on how a friend of mine at that time tried to put a love spell on her guy and it backfired on her. Now, what made me think about this story, because I be scrolling all on my TikTok, you know what I'm saying, and I be seeing other people telling about their experiences with, you know, doing love spells on people. And I was like, I remember I had a homegirl that tried to do one. So yeah. So this happened like 2015, around then. And she had a boyfriend. And the dude she was dating, she was like, I feel like he be cheating. So I heard about this, you know, little spell. And I want to do it. So I'm very, very spiritual. But back then, I didn't really know as much as I know now. So I'm just telling her, I don't think you should do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I heard them shits backfire regardless of what you do, boo. Like, don't do it. So she was like, no, I feel like it might work. And so what she heard was putting her pee in his drink. I'm like, for one, it's nasty, but you know what, girl? Do what you do. You don't want to listen to me, go ahead. So a week or so later, she called me and she like, girl, I did it. And I'm like, what you do? Because I low-key forgot. She was like, I did the spell. And I was like, what did you do? And she like, I went and got him some McDonald's on my way to his house. And I put some of my pee in his sweet tea. And I'm just quiet on the phone. I'm like, this girl really did it. So she was like, yeah, so I went to his house. And I'm watching him eat. And he finally picks up the drink and he drinks a little bit of it, but he didn't finish it. And I'm like, why he didn't finish it? And he told me that it tasted kind of weird. And then he was like, you want to taste it? And I was like, no, but I trust you. Like, it tastes weird. Like, I'll go get you another one though. He was like, nah, it's okay. I got water. So I'm just like, okay, and then what happened? And she was like, nothing. Like, we just, you know what I'm saying, do what we did. We went to sleep. So that was it with that. So, like, I'll probably say, like, a couple weeks after that, she called me and she, like, updating me. And she just like, yeah, bitch, it worked. He all on my body. Like, he calling me every night, telling me to come over and spend the night. And the sex is greater now. Like, it worked, bitch. And I'm just like, oh, shit. Like, okay. That's crazy, but I you know what I'm saying? So then, I lie to y'all now, probably like some months later, she called me crying. And she was like, bitch, he gave me an STD. And he cheated on me. And the girl he cheated on me with, he left me for her. And I'm on the phone like, I'm like, I ain't gonna lie. That shit you did, I think it backfired on you, you know what I'm saying? She like, no, bro, I don't think that shit worked. Like, that ain't got nothing to do with it. Like, he just a grimy ass nigga. And da-da-da-da-da. Like, she blaming him. And I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, nah, boo. You, like, you know what I'm saying? You never supposed to do no motherfucking love spells, ever. Like, I don't care. Especially if you don't have, like, no history of, like, voodoo or Santeria or nothing going on, you know what I'm saying? And especially if you don't know what the fuck you doing. Like, you just going by word of mouth. Like, you heard somebody say that, oh, do this and this nigga will love you. Like, sad to say, she got her feelings hurt, you know what I'm saying? Oh, well. And I told her that that's what happens. So, yeah, I say that to say this. For one, we no longer friends. But for two, don't ever do that. Because you're really taking someone against their will, if you think about it. Like, that is not something that we should be doing. If a motherfucker don't love you, okay, fuck it. Go find another one. Like, why are we trying to put spells on someone that you want so bad? You got to put something on somebody for them to love you. Do you not understand that will never, ever, ever work out? Yeah.
Talk about a love spell gone wrong. Do y'all know who Coach Cash is? Out of Houston, Texas, on her own gym. She used to come up on FYP all the time. She like real swole, built up. Anyway, her soon-to-be ex-wife, I believe, I'm not sure if that's her ex-wife already or soon-to-be, but she caught herself exposing Coach Cash like last week or the week before. And then Coach Cash came back with her receipts, which included a video of this binding spell that the soon-to-be or current ex-wife did on her, right? And just by looking at this, I can see exactly where she went wrong, just off first glance. Not even talking about all that black soot that was clearly, it's a telltale sign that there were trouble. It was a lot of trouble in paradise. It was clearly a lot of trouble in paradise. And she needed to clear the roads. But anyway, I'm not here to tell y'all how to do it right. What I'm saying is she did it so wrong that she ended up putting an obsession spell on herself. And that's why she ended up popping up at Coach Cash's house and saying all these crazy things, calling her crying, all that stuff like that. That is a very clear sign of a love spell backfiring, and not just backfiring, but what she tried to put on Coach Cash ended up being put on her. So she ended up spiraling out of control. And I'm not saying, listen, don't Don't play around with things that you don't know. Just leave it alone, baby. Or no, but she ended up putting herself under a spell. That's pretty much what we can see here, just by looking at it. But anyway, this is a telltale sign. This is a cautionary tale. Just stop.
Let me tell y'all this quick story. I posted it before, but I immediately took it down because I posted it too fast. And I saw a post yesterday that kind of made me remember about the story that I was supposed to tell y'all. So, it's this guy that I see every day, right? And he be trying to talk to me sometime, or he just be staring at me with that I'm interested stare, you know, that creepy stare. So, you know, I don't be paying him no mind, right? So like around like 2 weeks or a week before Valentine's Day, he was on me hard. Like he stopped me and was just kind of like literally pouring out to me, telling me how he watches me and how he really likes me and he wants to get to know me and how he loves my hair and, you know, everything that I do and represent and like, you know, my body. Like he just was on it, like pouring it all out. So I'm just looking at him and I'm just like, aw, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Like that. And I keep it moving. Now, I've seen him like he's with his stares and everything. I've always felt like this, you know, I'm just thinking this creepy thing with him, but you know, whatever. So Valentine's Day comes and he gives me a rose, right? So I take the rose, you know, and I'm like, oh, you know, thank you, whatever. So I noticed I left the rose in my car. And when I went to the car to go to the store, I saw the rose and I was like, I grabbed it, you know, ran in the house, put it in some water and didn't think nothing of it, just kept it moving. Now I deal a lot with plants, you know, I cultivate the earth. My hands are always in dirt. So when it comes to, you know, plants, sometimes I'm just like, you know, gung-ho with it. So I shouldn't have never brought it in the house. Anyway, so the rose is in the house, right? It was a closed rose. So the next day or two, I noticed the rose when I was walking out and it was opened. And I was like, wow, like it's so beautiful. I was like, oh, wow, it opened that fast. I was like, that is so pretty. Kept it moving, didn't think nothing of it. So Saturday, it was like a Saturday morning. I know it was a weekend. Saturday morning, I get up and Spirit was like, go look at the rose, right? So I'm like, I'm getting the intuition and it's like, go look at the rose. So I go to observe the rose and I see this black outline along the rim of the rose. Right? And it was traveling, right? It wasn't moving, but you could see that it spread, right? So it was on the rim of the rose. You couldn't see it from a distance. You had to be up on the rose to see it. So I'm looking and I'm like, what? So I'm already kind of feeling a little kind of weird. And I'm like, yo, I never seen that before. That's weird. Spirit is like, get rid of it. Take the rose out. Don't put it in the house. Take it out and trash it. So I take the rose, you know, and I open the door to go out to throw it in the garbage. And when I get to the garbage, Spirit is like, no, put salt on it. So I rush back in the house, grab the salt, and I'm, you know, putting the salt on the rose, and then I toss it. When I get back into the house, I felt like this relief, like this, it was a sense of relief. And I don't know if it was the energy from the rose or if it was the urgency for me to get rid of the rose, but I felt this sense of relief. Don't y'all know, when I see this guy again, he didn't even want to look at me. I had to be like, hey, and he was like, oh, hey, you know. So now he'll speak, but he will not try to talk to me no more. He does not. It's when I tell you it's nothing. He don't even look like before he used to try to make eye contact with me all the time and just stare at me, like to make me uncomfortable. And now it's literally as if it's nothing. So it's just so crazy how things can happen. And look, I've been fooled already before, so fool me once, but you won't fool me twice. So that's why building your awareness and consciousness and listen your lessons. Your lessons will bring you to a point where you start really paying attention to things and you able to hear, you know, and get guided, like your directions. Because, sir, what were you trying to do? Now, what could have happened is, I'm thinking, okay, if I let that rose sit there, and who knows, one day I would have probably woke up and the whole rose would have been black. And I would have just tossed it like it was nothing. And then it could have been something as simple as him catching me like and asking me out and me saying, you know what? I'm going to go out on a date with him. It'd be something simple as that. He's so nice. He's so persistent, you know. You know what? Let me see what this is and I'm going to go out on a date with him. That could have happened and that's all it would have took, you know, because warlocks will play on your empathy, you know, and especially when they get in, all they need is an in. So, you know, those love spells and shit, let me tell y'all. Listen. We're not doing that. Be careful what y'all bring into the house, especially plants. Plants hold spirits. Plants are very good with rituals, with spells. You know, that's what I do. I work with plants. So it's so crazy how I didn't catch that. But we won't catch everything. No matter how, you know, you move in life, we're human. You know what I'm trying to say? And as much as I'm gifted in that area, I didn't pick up on it. But I did pick up on the intuition. I did pick up on the guidance, on where spirit was leading me. And that's what's important. Because I'm not getting got no more. Fuck that.
He was using her as a cum dumpster, and she still wanted to do a honey jar on him. My client Tessa was madly in love with the married man. Of course, she never told me he was a married man. She just assumed I wouldn't see it through the divination. Tessa tells me how this man does her like nobody has ever done her before. How he treats her right, pays her bills, takes her on nice trips, and when I mentioned the wife, she got silent. I had to tell her, hey, it's no worries, you're in the no judgment zone, but let's not start off dishonest. And then I proceeded to do further divination. The divination came back that she did not need to do a honey jar on him. He was never leaving his wife, and then one of her ancestors chimed in, he's only with her because she lets him use her as a cum dumpster. And I thought that was it, but the spirit kept going. The spirit says he likes her because there's no consequences. She gets knocked up, she's taking a plan B, going to the clinic, or drinking some rude tea. Meanwhile, he's loving on the wife, keep making babies with the wife, and leaving Tessa on the sidelines. Baby, that ancestor was pissed. I thought that ancestor was done, but nope, she kept going. That ancestor said she keeps walking past Travis, who got a great job, great benefits, long dick, is a provider, and extremely loyal. So I say, Tessa, you are with this guy who's not really treating you the way you need to be treated, not giving you everything. You're accepting what's beneath you. Is there someone else in your life who is better suited for you? She says, there's no one. It's just me. There's nobody who wants me. So, of course, I say, okay, I don't press it. I ask her, I say, what do you want in a spouse? Tessa started naming all these qualities she wanted, and each quality she said, the ancestor said that Travis had it. But after I told her that the guy she was dating wasn't the one for her and she shouldn't do a honey jar on him, she really didn't want to talk to me anymore. And at that point, I realized she's either going to just do a honey jar or she's going to pay someone to do it. But before we got off the phone, I let her know that one of her ancestors told me that Travis was the one she was supposed to be with. Travis was her soulmate. The ancestor chimed in again and says, thanks for telling her. She's not going to listen, but I'm going to go tell her in her dreams and we'll see if she listens. A year and a half later, I see Tessa on my schedule again. So it comes time for our call. We get on the phone and she starts telling me who she was. Now, I remembered her, but I let her fill me in. And within the first 3 minutes of the call, she let me know that she did end up putting him in a honey jar and her life went to shit. She was up for a promotion at her job. She did not get it. She was trying to buy a house. She could not get it. She was thinking she was cursed, but she went to another reader because she didn't want to come back to me. And the reader told her it was because of the honey jar. So then she booked a reading with me because she needed a way forward. Tessa proceeds to tell me, well, you did tell me about Travis, and then I had a dream about Travis too. I let her know what the ancestor said because I remembered it vividly. And as I'm talking to her, I say, hey, are you pregnant? Because I saw a little baby like crawling around. Tessa says, no, I'm not pregnant. His wife is pregnant. She then says, and I found out he has another woman on the side besides me. Then she started to break down and cry. And y'all know me, I'm going to give you your space to cry and hold your hand through it because we are all human. We all make mistakes and nobody is perfect. And yes, she received warnings from me and her ancestors, but so what? We all human. So after she calms down, I walk her through how to undo the honey jar. I also give her a cord cutting ritual and explain the purpose of it severing ties between her and the married man. I congratulated her on her growth and her seeing the best way forward for herself. So then we proceeded to talk about what she wanted in a spouse. Now, I couldn't remember Travis's name, but I remembered it started with a T. So she starts telling me everything she wants in a spouse. Then I proceed to ask her again. I said, is there somebody else? She goes on to say, well, you mentioned Travis, but I haven't been able to see it up until recently. However, he's now in a relationship. As she says that, as she's talking, I get a vision of a man just angry, banging on the door, just banging and banging. Before I can go deeper into the vision, that same ancestor from before says she's going to have to move because the married man is about to go through some traumatic things and he's going to be triggered. He's not going to let her walk away. The ancestor tells me that Tessa is not going to do the cord cutting nor removal of the honey jar because she wants him to suffer. In fact, she's already done a sour jar on him, but she didn't do a cord cutting first. So I knew we were in for a world of trouble because Tessa don't like to listen. But this is not my first rodeo, and at that point I had already seen that her and Travis were going to be together. I just had to get her through this rough patch. So I walk her through how to do the cord cutting, and then I proceed to tell her about her ancestors. She previously had an ancestor ulcer up, but when things stopped going her way, she took the ancestor ulcer down. She blamed them versus taking accountability for her own actions. I tell her she's going to have to move, and she needs to put that ancestor ulcer back up to protect herself. You can't be out here doing spells with no protection, especially throwing curses. She says, well, my lease is up and I was thinking about moving back home. She asked me, could I do a reading on that? And I did the reading, pulled the cards, and it said that her hometown, Dallas, would be a great fit for her. And then I heard that same ancestor say, yeah, send her home to Travis. So I asked her, I say, well, is Travis in Dallas? And she said, yeah, he is. He moved back there a few months ago, but he's in a relationship. I say, that's okay. We're not going to break them up. You have your own problems to deal with. We'll let fate work it out. About 4 months later, Tessa messages me and says, you won't believe it. The married man was arrested for property damage. He had broken into Tessa's old apartment and destroyed the place. He thought she was still living there, but someone else had moved in. So I asked her, I say, so now that that's over, do you want to move back to the West Coast? She goes, no, I love it here. I forgot how great it was in Dallas. So I was happy that she was happy. So a few months go by and I see her on my schedule again. And I know it's always something with her. So I was like, okay, let's go. We get on the phone and she says, Luna, almost 2 years later, and I'm finally ready to listen. She goes, I want to do a honey jar on Travis. I was like, wait, what? How did we even get here? She goes on to explain that Travis and his girlfriend broke up a few months prior and that the girlfriend moved back to the West Coast. She was single, Travis was single, and she was ready to mingle. So I let her know this may be too soon, but let's do divination to see. We do the reading and it comes back, it's way too soon. But she also wants to get a promotion at her job, especially since she's been through so much trouble. So I give her some money rituals to do, some road opening rituals to do, and I do divination on her, the new role. I give her warnings about some of the roadblocks that are going to be put in her way by her new boss. I give her spell work and prayers to soften the boss towards her. And since I had already done the divination on her and Travis, I told her, okay, I'm going to give you my version of the honey jar spell, but you have to wait 6 months to do it. She said, okay, fine. I promise. I've learned my lesson. Now listening to you. I didn't really believe it, but I said, okay. About 4 months later, I get an email from her saying, Luna, I know you said wait 6 months, but we've been on quite a few dates. We've been on vacation together and things are going great. And I'm just going to do it. She goes, I'm going to keep you updated. Wish me luck. So she does the honey jar. Maybe about 7-8 months later, she sends me another email saying that they are engaged. And then she apologized for not listening.
Okay, y'all, this is another love spell story. Y'all gotta be careful when y'all do these love spells. Let me tell y'all about this girl that ended up putting a love spell on this dude that she was working with, y'all. The dude had already told this girl that he didn't want a relationship. He didn't look at her like that. And this girl was just so fucking in love with him, so obsessed with this man, that she decides to put a love spell on him. And when she put the love spell on him, little did she know that he was gonna take her life and his own. Okay, y'all, this is a true story, so we're going to make up names because I don't want to offend nobody, okay? So we're going to call the girl Jasmine and we'll call the dude Tariq, okay? I just made up some names. Okay, so it's this girl named Jasmine and this dude named Tariq. They used to work at this flower shop right across the street from their apartment complex. Now, they worked the same hours, worked the same days and all that. Now, when they started working, everything was going good. But Jasmine used to give Tariq little eye signals or whatever, showing that she liked him. And Tariq, you know, as they built a bond over time or whatever, Tariq was telling Jasmine, like, I'm not looking for no relationship and like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't on that type of time and with nobody because he had a past relationship or whatever that kind of him up, you know what I'm saying, had him in the system, had him hurt, all that type of shit, and he made a promise to himself that he was gonna always let his guard up and he wasn't gonna let nobody, you know, get to his heart or whatever. So he got his mindset, you know what I'm saying, like he ain't fucking with no females, he ain't taking nobody serious, this, that, and the third. Now messing around, seeing each other from time to time, that was cool to him, that was cool, but only seeing each other and messing around was cool. So it's this girl named Jasmine or whatever that used to work with him. And Jasmine was real flirty with this man. She liked this man so bad, y'all. She used to bring this man food and stuff like that, breakfast. Like when she go to lunch or whatever, she would bring him lunch back. Like she liked this man real bad. And Tariq peeped it. Tariq was telling her, like, Jasmine, man, I know you feel some type of way about me. Like I could tell the way you look at me, you know what I'm saying, the way you do this and do that, and how you just be moving in general. So Jasmine told him straight up, like, you know, I do fuck with you, I do like you or whatever, but you already told me, you know, with your situation in the past and stuff like that, you don't look at me like that. So Tariq was like, yeah, Mom, I just don't want to hurt you. He used to always call Jasmine Mom, okay? He used to always call Jasmine Mom. So he was telling Jasmine, like, Mom, I don't want to hurt you, you know what I'm saying? Like, Like, I'm traumatized at this point, you know what I'm saying? My ex-girlfriend, me and her left off on a bad note, like a real bad note. Come to find out, y'all, him and his girlfriend ended up getting into it or whatever. He put his hands on his girlfriend. The girlfriend called the police. The police took this man to jail, and now he got a battery charge on him for beating on his girlfriend. So that's why he really just was like pushing back from all relationships and all this stuff like that. So, back to Jasmine and Tariq. So, like I said, y'all, Jasmine used to do all this little stuff for Tariq or whatever. All this little stuff, y'all. And she was trying to prove to him that she fuck with him like, you know what I'm saying? She wouldn't do him like the last bitch did him. But Jasmine don't know what the fuck Tariq used to do to that girl to make that girl explode on his ass like that. But we're gonna get to that, okay? So, Tariq was telling her, like, man, you ain't gotta buy me food, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta do this and do that. Like, that ain't your responsibility. Like, even if I was your dude, you know what I'm saying? That still ain't your responsibility. I'm the one supposed to be buying female food or whatever. So, Jasmine was telling Tariq, like, I don't mind, you know what I'm saying? I got money, this, that, and the third. Like, you ain't fucking with no broke bitch. If we was to fuck around, you know what I'm saying? They joking around, they playing, they had that bond or whatever. But Tariq was telling Jasmine he didn't want to be in a relationship. He didn't look at her that serious to move it to the next level. So, Jasmine decides to start doing love spells on Tariq, thinking that would change his mind, that would make him draw into her, all this other shit. So one day, y'all, they talking or whatever, and Jasmine tells Tariq, like, you'll accept me one day, you'll love me one day. And Tariq was like, I do accept you, you know what I'm saying? Like, I do accept you, I love you, just in a friend way, you know what I'm saying? Like, we cool, you know, you cool, this, and third. So Jasmine brushed it off or whatever, laughing, like, she trying to shake the conversation and turn it into something else. And that's what she do. She switched up the conversation and started talking about something else, because she knew what she meant by that, but Tariq ain't know what she meant by that. So, they in there, they working, y'all. It's closing time. They finna get ready to close the boutique or whatever. And, Jasmine decides that she's gonna put black magic on Tariq. So she do so that same night that they closed was the same night she went home and started putting black magic on this dude. Now, if you don't know, black magic is a sort of witchcraft. It is. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's a sort of witchcraft, and whenever you make somebody go against their free will or whatever, that is you dealing with some dangerous shit. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. You dealing with some dangerous stuff. So she goes home, y'all. She putting these little spells on this dude. I'm talking about left and right, because she want to make sure that this love spell sticks to him. She know this man, because like I said, y'all, they used to work together, so she had access to all his information, his first, last, middle name, all this shit, his birthday, all that shit. So when she described what she wanted from this man, she wanted this man to be crazy in love with her, overly obsessed with her. She wanted this man to treat her right, all this other stuff. But y'all, again, when you are messing with someone's free will, it don't exactly glow. I said glow. Glow must be talking about me. But it doesn't exactly go as planned. You know what I'm saying? As you put it out there. It don't go like that. It don't go like that. So she doing the black magic or whatever. And mind y'all, keep this in mind, y'all. Do not forget, these people stay in the same apartment complex across the street. They worked across the street at this flower boutique. Okay? So she at home, she putting black magic on this man. She did one spell. One spell ain't enough for her. She do another spell. Another spell ain't enough for her. She do this third spell just to make sure that this love spell sticks to Tariq. So the next day or whatever, they go to work. It's their regular shift. She come in at 8. He come in at 8. So Tariq speak to her or whatever, and Jasmine speak back or whatever, and Tariq was like, you know what's crazy? He was telling her how he was thinking about her all night and how he tossed and turned. Even when he fell asleep or whatever, he was having dreams about her. And Jasmine like, okay, you know what I'm saying, this shit must be working. Like, he having dreams about me and he thinking about me, you know what I'm saying? He ain't never came to work and said no shit like that. So Jasmine thinking that Jasmine know at this point that her love spell has worked on Tariq. So Tariq was like, man, that's crazy, man. I ain't, like, you know what I'm saying? He couldn't really just put his finger on it or whatever. So he was telling Jasmine, he was like, man, you cool, like, I like you, you know what I'm saying? So he always told that this was a normal conversation with Tariq and Jasmine. So it ain't like he was being mean to her before and now he being nice to her now because she put the love spell on. That's not the case in this situation. He was always nice to her. He always respected her, but he just wanted her to respect the fact that he didn't want to be with her or nobody else for that matter. So, she put the love spell, and it's a normal day. You know, he normally talking to her like he would any other day. Jasmine normally talking to him like she would any other day. So everything going cool or whatever. Their supervisor came and said something about Tariq always flirting with Jasmine. And Tariq was like, hold up. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was trying to let everybody know that he not on that type of time. And he didn't want to give nobody the wrong impression about what he got going on and who he got it going on with. So Jasmine feeling like, okay, he ain't doing enough, you know what I'm saying? He ain't tried to push up on me, he ain't tell me he liked me, this, and third, so maybe the love spell didn't work. So she goes home, y'all. It's closing time. She goes home, he goes home or whatever. right in the middle of her doing a love spell, he contacts her. He contacts her, y'all. And he just basically like, what you doing? What you got going on? And she like, what, it's late. What I'm gonna have going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, at this time, it's like 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. I mean, at night. So, he was telling her, like, man, he was like, I don't know why. I just keep thinking about your little dirty ass. You know what I'm saying? They used to play like that. They had that little bun or whatever. So he was like, I don't know why I keep thinking about your little dirty ass. Jasmine laughs, and Jasmine's like, I don't know why you keep thinking about me either. Like, maybe we should, you know, work something out or whatever. But Tariq is standing his ground. Even though he can't figure out why he thinking about this girl, why he having dreams about this girl, he still stands his ground at this point, y'all, which made Jasmine do more love spells on this man. So, like I said, Jasmine tried to hit on him again. After she put them 3 love spells on him, she tried to come at him again to see what's he gonna fold. Tariq did not fold. He was just like, man, I told you my little situation or whatever. I can't be with nobody, you know what I'm saying? He was like, if he ever get to the point where he with somebody, he want to respect that person. He want to love that person, like, properly, you know what I'm saying, the right way. And his ex is the reason that he can't do that right now. Anyways, y'all like for part 2 because this shit gets deep. Okay? Bye. Okay, so part 2. So, like I said, y'all, Jasmine and Tariq on the phone. Jasmine is telling Tariq, you know what I'm saying, why don't we just, you know, work something out with me and you. Tariq telling Jasmine, like, you know, I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Me and Shorty end up getting into it. You know, I'm going through a little phase right now. I just really need to focus on myself. So, he telling Jasmine, y'all. He's telling Jasmine, I don't know why I keep thinking about you. Even when I go to sleep, I'm having dreams about you. Like, I don't know what the fuck is up. But he said goodnight to Jasmine and told Jasmine he'll see her tomorrow at work. Jasmine hangs up the phone with Tariq and proceeds to start putting more love spells on this man. So she put this love spell on this man, and another one, and another one. So at this point, she has 6 love spells on this man. So at this point, it has no choice but to work. She feeling like at this point, it has no choice but to go in effect and make this man want her. But when she did the first 3, little did she know the spell was working and she just had to give it a little time. But since she put 3 spells on this man, since she put 6 spells total on this man, he became very, very, very obsessed with this girl. Ended up losing his job. She lost her job. They lost their apartment. Okay, let me tell y'all, I'm going too fast. Okay, so she put the love spell on Tariq. The next day, they go to work. Tariq was like, man, I don't know what the fuck it is about your fine ass, you know what I'm saying? Like, I fuck with you, you know what I'm saying? I like you, I like your style, I like how you present yourself, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like everything about you. Like, at this point, Tariq is just telling her all the time, like, how he like her, how he always thinking about her, how he always having dreams about her, and how he could see himself being with her. So at this point, Jasmine like, damn, like, okay, I got his ass now. I got his ass. Like, he finna see what's up. Like, he finna see that, you know what I'm saying, he wanna fuck with me. So Tariq was always, he had got to the point, y'all, he was talking to Jasmine, he was in Jasmine's face so much that the supervisors noticed, and they was just like, you know, you spend more time talking to Jasmine than you is doing your job. So that became an issue at work, you know what I'm saying? Jasmine trying to do her work, Tariq is just all in her face and shit like that. And Jasmine liked that attention. She liked it, the fact that Tariq was into her. She liked the fact that Tariq was, you know what I'm saying, just, I don't know, just had to talk to her or whatever. So it got so bad, y'all, the supervisor ended up letting Tariq go. But Tariq didn't give a fuck. He still came to the motherfucking shop at regular time to see Jasmine, to talk to Jasmine and tell Jasmine how much he fuck with her and how he could see himself being with her, this, that, and the third, y'all. But still, it never got to the point where Tariq was like, Jasmine, let's be together. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's fall in love. Let's fall in love, because I don't know, but I feel like Jasmine was already in love with Tariq, but Tariq knew something was going on. He knew something had changed about how he felt about Jasmine, and he just couldn't understand why. Because he had, months after him and that girl ended up breaking up or whatever, he was to himself. He didn't even want to look at no female like that type of way. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to look at no female that type of way. And he wasn't gay. I'm just saying, he wasn't gay. Okay, so Tariq, like I said, Tariq ended up getting fired because he was in Jasmine's face a little too much, and the supervisors and stuff like that, they wasn't going for this shit. They're like, damn, you ain't even doing your job. You talking to old girl. So after work or whatever, Jasmine closes up. She calls Tariq. She giving Tariq, like, she asking Tariq what's the rundown of why you got fired and all this stuff like that. Tariq was basically telling her, like, you know what I'm saying, they talking about I be in your face a lot, this, that, and the third, but Tariq wasn't messed up. Tariq had money saved up. Tariq was a motherfucking hustler. And if he wanted to get out there and get that shit, he could have got out there and get that shit. So he wasn't tripping about no flower boutique job. You know what I'm saying? That was just something to do so that he could stay out of trouble. So, fast forward, y'all. They go home or whatever. I mean, Tariq go home, Jasmine go home or whatever. So at this time, it's 8 o'clock. Jasmine calls Tariq again. She calls Tariq again to tell Tariq that she feel like they have a stronger connection than they did before, the few days before she put the little spell. And Tariq agreed. Tariq was like, yeah, I agree with you. He was like, you know, he was like, I'll fuck with you. He was like, I don't know, it's something about your little pretty ass, you know what I'm saying? I just can't get over you or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I want to fuck with you, maybe on that level, but we'll have to take it slow. So Jasmine was like, okay, you know, we can take it slow, we can do that, this, that, and third. So at this point, she happy, she feel like, okay, she got her man. So, fast forward, y'all, they end up eventually getting in a relationship. They got in a relationship, and Jasmine was always clinging to Tariq, and Tariq was always clinging to Jasmine, but it became unbearable with Jasmine. So it had got to the point where she didn't want that shit no more. Like, it was just too much. So she was telling Tariq, you know what I'm saying, Tariq would come over there every single day before she went to work. Matter of fact, you might as well say Tariq stayed with this girl. You might as well say Tariq moved in with this bitch. Like, they stayed right down the hall from each other in the same apartment complex. But you might as well say he moved with her, because he was over there every day. Even when she was at work, he would come over there and wait until she got home. So Jasmine, and then Tariq went cleaning up. He went helping with shit. He was just really lounging around, you know, waiting for her to get out of work so he could be up under her. So Jasmine, you know, after so long, this shit gets old. It gets old. So Jasmine was telling Tariq, you know what I'm saying, like, Tariq, maybe we need like a little space or whatever. But this made Tariq scared. Like, he was gonna lose Jasmine. He got scared, y'all. So he was like, what the fuck you mean? Like, we need a break or whatever. So he found himself getting rowdied up, y'all. He had to calm himself down. So he was like, you know, he fixed his attitude or whatever, how he approached her. He fixed it. So he was like, baby, what do you mean we need a break? He was like, I don't think we need a break. I think we're doing good. You know what I'm saying? Everything going good. This what you wanted. This what we had. So Jasmine, she was just telling him, like, you know, I need my space or whatever, you know, you can go to your apartment for a few days and I'll stay here. Come to find out, when he went to his apartment, y'all, he got evicted. The motherfucker was not paying his motherfucking rent. He was not paying his rent, so he had got evicted out of his apartment. So he went back to Jasmine's spot and told Jasmine, like, man, they put eviction blood on my motherfucking door. They changed my locks and shit like that. Like, I don't know what the fuck going on. That's how you know, bro. He was over there, wouldn't wash his ass, wouldn't do none of this shit, wouldn't help with nothing, wouldn't clean up, wouldn't do nothing. And Jasmine was just like, oh, hell no. This ain't what the fuck I signed up for. I said I wanted a little spell on this nigga, not this nigga to be just, you know what I'm saying, falling off his A game. Because that's exactly what the fuck he was doing. He was falling off his A game. So Tariq, he was telling Jasmine, like, man, nah, man. He was like, nah, you can't leave me, bro. You can't leave. You can't do me like this, man. I told you about my past relationship. Like, the bitch hurt me, man. You sitting up here trying to hurt me. You sitting up here trying to push me away, this, that, and the third. So Jasmine was trying to calm him down. Jasmine was like, I'm not trying to push you away. I just need a little space. Like, I still want to be with you, and, you know, we can be together. But I just need a little space or whatever. But he can't go back to his apartment. And this motherfucker ain't got no family, no friends, no none of that shit. So he ain't got no choice but to be at Jasmine's apartment. So Jasmine saw that he had got evicted or whatever. She felt sorry for him. She told him, okay, well, the space that you can give me is you sleeping on the couch and I sleep in the bedroom. Tariq was like, okay, as long as he in the same house as Jasmine, he don't give a fuck. So it had got to the point where it's nice where Tariq would come in there with Jasmine. And Jasmine would tell Tariq, like, not tonight, baby. I don't feel like it, this, that, and the third. So he would get mad, y'all. He would get mad, like, what do you mean not tonight? Every little thing that she did or she refused from him, he just became, like, aggressive. Like, I don't know, he was just like, bitch, this how you doing me? You know what I'm saying? This how, after I told you what I've been through, this how you doing me? So Jasmine reaches her breaking point, y'all. She reaches her breaking point. But at this point, I gotta tell y'all in part 3. So please like for part 3. Goodbye. I mean, see you later. Bye, friend. Part 3, last and final part. I know y'all ready. I'm ready too. Okay, so, y'all know he kept on busting in her room or whatever. You know, trying to fuck with her, and she wanted her space. She told the man to get on the couch, and she stayed in her room. So everything had got overwhelming to Jasmine. So at this point, Jasmine like, Tariq, you got to go. Like, you can't stay. Excuse me. Like, she was telling Tariq, you can't stay here. You can't be here no more. Like, I just need my space, like, for real. And with you sleeping on the couch and me being in my room, that's not enough space for me. Now, mind y'all, Jasmine is still going to work every day. She's still coming home and all the stuff like that. So it's this day she goes to work. She goes to work, y'all. It's a normal fucking day for this girl. While she's at work, Tariq is going through her shit. Tariq is trying to figure out why she trying to push him away, why she don't want him to be there. So he figured, let me go through her shit and see what the fuck this bitch up to. Same shit he did with his motherfucking ex. But it's Jasmine's fault, because Tariq told this girl. Tariq told this girl he need to heal. He need to work on himself. He need to get himself together. But she didn't give a fuck. She wanted to be with this man so motherfucking bad. Now you with his ass and he ain't finna leave your ass alone. Unless, let's get to it. So he going through her stuff or whatever. Up under her bed is all the shit that she had laid out where she put these love spells on this man. Everything is laid out. How she did it, when she did it, what she want from him, all this other shit. And when he saw that shit, it triggered him, y'all. It triggered him. It triggered him because come to find out, y'all, that's the same shit his motherfucking ex did. That's the same shit his motherfucking ex did. So he sitting on the couch or whatever, he mad as fuck. He got all the little papers and shit like that, all the little candles and all the little, it was like this necklace. It was this big ass, thick ass necklace, y'all, that was made of metal. And it was like little pellets. And it was a big ass necklace. I don't know if she used that to put the little spell on him or what, but he discovered that up under her bed too. So he was like, what the fuck is this? Like, I ain't never seen no shit like that, y'all. It's a big ass chain. Just imagine having a big ass chain all the way down here. And this motherfucker got metal marble, like metal balls on the motherfucking chain. Big, thick ass. Each ball probably weighed like down there 20 ounces. 10 ounces. I'm probably overdoing it. But anyway, so he got everything laid out on the table. So when she walked through the motherfucking door, she can see what the fuck he discovered in her room. So he walked through the door. I mean, she walked through the door, whatever. Tariq just sitting on the couch looking at her. Like, you know what I'm saying? You fucking with the wrong one. You fucking with the wrong one. Jasmine didn't know about his past situation, y'all. She didn't know about him doing it to old girl or old girl doing it to him. She was not aware of it. But Tariq ended up unaliving this girl with her own protection. Okay? They had a conversation, y'all. Jasmine was trying to explain herself. Tariq just kept on telling Jasmine, I told you. I told you. I told you this shit, bro. I gave you a warning after warning after warning. I wasn't ready for this shit. And you over here putting spells on me, love spells at that, trying to force some shit. So at this point, y'all, Tariq is fucking, he is fucking mad. He is blown. He blown. So Jasmine, she stuttering or whatever. She don't know how to explain herself, really. She don't know how to explain herself because, damn, nigga, you went through my shit. You went through my shit? So before she could even get her last word, y'all, Tariq ended up putting that strap out on her. And boom, unalived her. He stayed in her house for hours, y'all, after he unalived her. Even though it was an apartment complex and people heard a gunshot, didn't nobody call the police. So he stayed up in there with Jasmine's body right there at the front door for hours. Hours turned into days. Days turned into weeks until his bitch ass ran out of food. He ran out of food, had to get on the streets and hustle. Now, y'all, this is where he meets this girl named Malaysia. He meets this girl named Malaysia. Crazy thing is, Malaysia got the same name as his ex. The first girl that ended up putting a love spell on him. Anyways, this will be a separate story. I'm not making no motherfucking part 4. If y'all want to know what happened to Tariq after everything went down, after he unalived Jasmine and he met Malaysia, let me know. I will make it. But you got to be patient. Okay? Anyways, I hope everybody is having a wonderful day. If you follow me or you comment under my stuff, it's a couple girls on here. I'm going to shout y'all out in one of these videos, but I fuck with y'all. I fuck with y'all a long way. Y'all always support me. Y'all always comment. Like, I see y'all name a lot. So I thank y'all. I thank everybody for following me. If you're not following me, please hit that follow button right now because I do drop stories, not daily. Every now and then, every blue moon. But this is a true story, y'all. The man that we are talking about today, he was alive. He was alive, but now he's not alive. What I mean by that is he didn't unalive himself until after the little situation went down with him in Malaysia. That's when he unalived himself in Malaysia.
These are the consequences of doing a love spell on a person. I came across the story on here. It was actually in Spanish, so I'm gonna go ahead and translate it to English and I'll tag the original creator down here. So Gloria has been practicing witchcraft for the past 5 years, so much so that she has become very well known around her neighborhood and she has a ton of clients. One day she was having a birthday party at her house, so she invited a bunch of her friends and a bunch of like her close neighbors. When she sees a girl that she didn't recognize enter her home, she assumed that this was probably one of her friends who had invited another friend. The girl goes up to her, introduces herself as Peggy, and tells Gloria that she needs her help. That she has fallen madly in love with this man that wants absolutely nothing to do with her. Gloria advised her against it and told her about all the consequences that come from love spells, that you can't mess with someone's free will. Peggy said that she didn't care, that whatever the consequences were, that she was willing to deal with it. The next day, Peggy went to Gloria's house and Peggy handed her a jar. In this jar, there was this white powder. Peggy told her to take a very small amount out of the jar and to add it to one of his alcoholic drinks. And to also do it on a Friday, because apparently Fridays are the most strongest days to do this stuff. That Friday, Peggy ended up having a huge party at her house where she invited just about everyone, including the boy and Gloria. As the party was going, everybody was dancing, singing, having a great time. Peggy starts getting a bunch of drinks ready for her friends. Gloria notices that Peggy takes one of the drinks and puts it to the side. She then opens the jar that she had in her pocket and she dumps all of the powder in the drink. Gloria right away runs over to Peggy and tells her, "That is too much. I told you to only give him a small amount. You have no idea the consequences that this is gonna create." Peggy then snaps at Gloria and tells her to mind her business, that this had nothing to do with her, that she already paid her for her work, and that whatever happens now, to just back off. Gloria pretty much wiped her hands clean and left it at that. The minute this guy took a sip of the drink, it was almost out of a movie scene. He became completely head over heels in love with Peggy and could not keep his hands off of her. The whole night they were just making out and all over each other. A few weeks go by and Peggy gives Gloria a call and tells her, "Hey, what you gave me worked amazing, but I no longer want to be with him. He has become way too obsessive, very toxico, to the point that he's even jealous of my own brothers. I wanted him, but not like this. I no longer want to be with him." Gloria told her there's nothing that she can do about it, that when she tried to interfere, that she had told her to mind her business, so that's exactly what she was gonna do. Weeks go by and Gloria ends up receiving news that literally chilled her to the bone. Apparently, Peggy had broken up with the guy, and when she did so, the guy became so insane that he drove his bike right off of a bridge, unaliving himself. All because of that spell. A month later, Peggy calls her terrified, crying her heart out, begging Gloria for help. She told her that after the boy had passed away, that she continued to see him in the home, that he wakes her up at night, that she hears his voice, that he still is around at all times, that even after he passed away, he continues to be obsessed over her, even after death.